It is time. It's the Infinite Investment Game. I talk about alternative investments and just thinking long term and making the best long term decisions that you can. So, I'm going to be talking about comic books. Yes, I normally talk about sports cards or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, celebrity cards or something like that, or been showing you great at video games, but I want to talk about comic books. People think that because sports cards and other collectibles are going down, that I'm going to put my money in comic books because it's been relatively stable. That's the worst decision that you can make unless you're putting into gold or silver graded comic books or era comic books. I'm going to tell you what I mean in a second. All this modern stuff is going to go down. It may be worthless to worth something, meaning that there are going to be some comic books in the next 2 years that have been hot, that have been stable, that have been going up gradually, that are about to go from 5,000 to 500. And they may stay there for 5 years, 10, who knows how long. It's probably going to be longer than a year, probably longer than 2 years. There's a couple things that's increased the market right now for comic books, at least in the last, 2016, since 2021, but really since 2016. You have Marvel and DC coming out with a lot of movies. Many of them have been really good. That's number one. Number two, you have CGC and the grading. Number three, you have, I guess, the federal government printing a lot of money. So there's more money coming into the system. And then I think the other thing is, just internet, social media, just being in collectibles is cool. And then number five is you have all these influencers, some Gary Vee, some other people coming into the market trying to get you to buy these as investments. And they're buying as investments or a fun thing to do. So, these are things that affect the market and the reason why this is happening. There's certain situations where interest rates are actually going to increase because the United States needs to save the dollar, which means that they're going to try to make purchasing power. I don't want to get too much into this, but the comic books are going to, because of macroeconomic factors, comic books are going to decrease, and that's including Silver Age comics. And what I want to say about Golden Age comics, for example, is from 1938 to 1956. Those are Golden Era comics. Silver Age is 1956 to 1969, and Bronze Age is 1970 to 1984. All right. If you're buying comic books after this, there's pretty much no chance. You may want to continue to buy stuff to flip and hold short term, but long term is a bad idea, just because you're going to see those comic books. Well, you're like, I don't know when the bottom of the market is. Well, I'll put it like this. If you buy a comic book for $5,000, it used to be $10,000. And it's like, I'm just going to buy more. And you keep buying until it's, $100 or $50. You're going to be like, man. And it stays like that for a very, very long time, maybe years, maybe decades. That's not uncommon, or maybe never recovers because no one ever cares about it. So that's what's going to happen to a lot of people. Like, people don't think that there's a lot of other comic books that were popular in the past that aren't popular now. That happens, and it's going to be longer than a couple years, decades. And you're just going to be sitting around with junk, basically. And you're just going to waste your money. You could put your money into index fund or something like that, real estate, whatever, something else that would have grown in value. And then maybe if you want to pick up that comic book later, you could. But let me get into actual comic books that I think people are wasting their money on. Amazing Spider-Man 300, CGC 9.8. Walking Dead #1, CGC 9.8. She-Hulk #1, CGC 9.8. Werewolf by Night, CGC 9.4. I would say The Batman, The Killing Joke, CGC 9.8. I think that's a real waste of money. Swamp Thing, #1, CGC 9.8. Batgirl, #1, CGC 9.8. Wolverine, #1, CGC 9.8. I know Gary Vee has been pumping Wolverine #1 because he wants to buy it. He is really trying to play the long game. This man is trying to, that thing won't be valuable probably to 30 years from now. like he's trying to buy it at the high here, and it's gonna hit this U, and he's just gonna hold, and he's gonna sell it like on its way up, and he's just like, oh yeah, I told you, when he probably could have just waited. Other comic books will be TMNT, The Last Ronin, CGC 9.8, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All those comic books, I mean, I'd probably say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 is a waste of money, in my opinion. Comics that you should be looking at, now if you have a big budget, you can go after these. Action Comics #1 from Golden Age, Batman #1, Captain America #1, Detective Comics 27, Fantastic Four #1, Hulk #1, Journey into Mystery 83, Marvel #1, Superman, X-Men #1. I know people buying Black Panther. I like Black Panther. People have to keep the interest going for something like that, which is not Gold Age. So don't think Black Panther is a Golden Age. It's not Golden Age. I believe it's bronze. I'm gonna get the bronze in a second, but silver. Silver Age Comics, Action Comics 242, Superboy 68, Batman 121, Flash 105, Green Lantern #1 or #22, Brave and Bold 28, Justice League of America #1, Batman 139, Aquaman #1, Incredible Hulk #1, Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, I guess you want to do #1, and I would say that those are the ones you could do. Bronze Age, I think, is really risky because I think that's the most vulnerable. That's going to go down a lot. You can pick that up when it's like prices are stagnant, and when you say the economy is at the worst, is like pessimism is at its worst. Like we're literally in a recession, and unemployment at an all-time high. All of that. That's really when you should be buying Bronze Age stuff. Bronze Age is 1970 to 1984. Bronze Age will be Wolverine #1, Incredible Hulk 181, Spider-Man 129, Star Wars #1. Yes, Star Wars from 1977. I don't think that's a great investment right now, the original one. And Miss Marvel #1. And many of these, they just come out with movies. Even She-Hulk, they just come out with movies related to this. So why would you want to buy something that just came out? I'm just saying, it could be a big waste of money. I know I have New Mutants 98 or 91. It's the one with the first appearance of Deadpool. It's too many of these. There's too many of these in circulation. These 1990s, 2000 comics, there's too many in circulation. You're trying to speculate. Even waiting for a new movie coming out, it probably won't move the market like that. It may be a serious slowdown for what's going to be coming. And it's just a lot of money leaving the system. Baby boomers enter retirement. So those people are going to enter retirement and they're going to be pulling money out of the system instead of putting money into the system. And also you're going to have same thing, interest rates rising, recession, people losing their jobs, probably foreign and inside the United States conflicts. I think just the issue is people are walking around with blinders on, almost like ants. And they're just focused on their little grain of sand and don't look at the big picture. So I think that is the thing that we need to really think about more when we're making financial decisions in comic books. And most comic books are not an investment, they're a liability. And you should just be careful. And that's really all I have. Let me know what you think. If you still at this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with other people. But I would greatly appreciate it if I know what you think.